Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I am so excited to be here as a interview guest to Pragmatic Psychology and getting these tools out into the world and the brilliance of my dear friend Susanna. So thank you for inviting me to play here with you. So great.
Oh, thank you so much, Sarah, for being here. Oh, I'm so grateful. And it's so cool because we have this Zoom translated, or this, whatever it's called here, translated into, I don't know, like so many different languages. So also thank you, translators, for doing this and for contributing so much. Yeah.
Yes. And I know we're supposed to give the translators a few beats.
I know. It's so hard to, God, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's good.
Okay, cool. So, for people who were invited to this group who know nothing about pragmatic psychology and how those words even kind of got put together, I would love to start our lives off because you guys, there's going to be 4 of these lives, same time every day. So make sure you're clicking the button to know when Susanna goes live in here in the group, so that you can join us every day. But the recordings will be here as well. Anyways, I would love to have you tell our friends like where pragmatic psychology even came from. Like I said, those 2 words are often not put together. So what are you doing here with this? Tell me more.
Cool. So pragmatic psychology started by, actually it started very early. It's so funny now that you ask me. When I was maybe 5 or something, I painted a peacock. No, I didn't paint one. I was like, making a little peacock out of some kind of, I don't know what it's called in English, like cloth stuff. And so that peacock thing has been part of my world of inspiring me and always having this wish to inspire other people to, hey, show up as you, be this colorful difference in the world. Don't worry about people's judgments. Just go, shine. So, and then years later, I found myself working in psychiatry in Sweden as a psychologist. And I did all kinds of things like, psychotherapy, neuropsychological testings on patients, taking care of the staff, and like the perspective that I was taught was always about there's something wrong and this needs to be fixed. So basically a very dramatic perspective. And this is something I did my best to do it in the way I was taught. And it didn't take long until I went, okay, this isn't this, there must be something different. There's something else possible. And I had this question, I didn't say it out loud, but in my world, I'm like, okay, what else is there? I know there's something different. Show me what is there? And I was even ready to give up my job. I'm like, if there's nothing else, like if I can't find another way of doing this, I'm happy to quit. I'm happy to do something totally different, even if I invested so much time and energy in this work. And from that willingness to let it go, there was a totally different space opening up. And I came in contact with Access Consciousness and the amazing tools with Gary and Dane. And I had so many awesome conversations with like Gary Douglas, who was like, hey, what different approach to psychology can you create? And I'm like, me? But it did something with me. So I started to, I did all these classes for me because I'm like, I want to be happy. I don't want to have as my only option to just adapt to other people's needs and to do what other people want me to do. So I did these classes for me. And because it worked so awesomely in every area of my life, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna actually use this on my patients. So I started to apply this in my work with my patients, with the staff there, and it was amazing. Like, even if my staff called, like my colleagues, they said, I don't want to know what you're doing, but please take these patients. We don't know what to do with them. Whatever you do, don't talk about it, just do your thing. And which was amazing, like to see how if you just change your perspective, your world changes and you're a totally different inspiration for other people. So it became so much easier. So from the dramatic approach, what's wrong and why, it started to become a pragmatic approach, which is about, hey, what works? How can you work with yourself and other people, clients, kids, family members, friends in a totally different way, where it's about empowerment rather than looking again for what's wrong and why, and searching endlessly in your past about explanations why something is wrong or why you're wrong again. Like this whole reality is about wrongness and never about strongness. So this is how this whole thing started. Yeah.
Can I highlight something? It might be a little bit off topic, but it might not be. So you talked about willingness and your willingness to let go of what was and everything that you had put in. And so how often, so we like marry ourselves to a creation or to a future or to all the time invested. I can't just walk away from this. Can you give us a little bit about what that willingness, because a lot of us miss that word. Like Gary will say, Dane will say, like, you have to be willing to lose everything. It doesn't mean that you're going to lose everything. It's just the willingness to walk away that opens up doors. So can you talk a little bit about what willingness is to you and how we can choose more of it?
I love it. And I love that you like hear the ping of like, okay, let's talk about this more. That is just brilliant. Thank you for that. So this like, yeah. And if you guys like listening to this, you can look at, okay, so what am I holding on to? And it's also, who am I holding on to, or what am I holding on to? Whether it's a person or a job or a, situation or whatever it is in your life, who or what are you holding on to that keeps you from truly choosing your life and your future? And it's like Sarah said, it's not about you have to lose something or someone. It's not about this is required, losing something or someone. It's about the willingness and the not needing to hold on to, what you have had in your past. Like, because there's like this thing, there's even a study that says people rather hold on to a bad relationship rather than not having a relationship at all. And that's like, wow, this reality is weird, and not in a good way. It's like, why would you hold on to a bad relationship instead of just like, okay, the willingness to lose it? How much of you would you have? If you had the willingness to lose what doesn't work in your life, if you had the willingness to lose your limitations, how much more freedom would you have? But this is like in the situation we're now worldwide, like so many people are holding on to what has been the old reference points rather than going, what if we embrace change? What if we no longer judge change? I can't even say that, judge change, but actually embrace and invite change. And the amazing thing is so many people go, well, but then where's my security? Where is my certainty? Has there ever really been certainty or security? If the last almost 2 years have taught us anything, things are changing in a heartbeat. And if you're ready to surf on the change rather than avoiding it, you'll be on top of the wave. You will thrive. You will allow an adventure that is so different than anyone else. And you will be aware of, okay, what does my future require? You will actually have your awareness of the future and what you require to create your financial reality, your business reality, your relationship reality. You will know what is required to navigate your future if you don't resist change. And that's like, this is not something we've been taught to do in this world. We've been taught to resist change, to judge change, to avoid change, to hold on to things that have been in the past, but truly going, okay, you know what? What has been was amazing. I'm so grateful for everything that has been. Obviously, things are changing. What if I just relax into the change, jump into the change, relax into the change, and just go, I have no idea how it will look like, but I'm ready for the adventure. And this is just, you guys out there, maybe you notice there's a totally different lightness and space to that. And there's no how to it. Like there's no step 1, step 2, step 3 to it. It's just a choice of, okay, I can hold on to what has been, or I can relax into the change, jump into the change, embrace it and go, okay, I'm surfing on this wave of change, and let's go. Universe, show me what's possible. That's beyond anything I could ever imagine. And, you know, those of us who embrace change, like how much will you be the people who are on top, the people who will thrive when other people hold on to old reference points?
Yeah. Well, I almost thought like, so Dane has been talking about like the tsunami of change, the tsunami of possibilities. And, you know, the stories of the tsunamis of like, you know, the people who are like holding on to the fence post instead of riding with the wave to move to a new place, they're like, and they're being, you know, bombarded with too much water than they can take on and end up drowning in the change rather than riding the possibility. So one of the things that this is, I think, a really great segue into one of the topics we want to discuss here, which is getting lost in need, and how much the need for the old reality, the need for the thing to stay the same, the lie of need actually keeps us holding on rather than embracing a possibility of a world or a life and living without need. So can you talk a little bit about what needs are? Because I have needs, Susanna. I need to find all the people who are going to fulfill my needs so that I can maintain my needs. So can you talk to me about, like, I'm your client. I'm here. I'm going to give all my needs and how you can fulfill them. Will you share with me?
Oh my God, it's so funny. You who are like so different from the start anyway, it's so funny. So the like needs, oh my goodness, like this is wow, you know, like all of you guys listening, how many people do you have in your life who have needs of you, who need you to be a certain way, who need you to show up a certain way and not show up another way? Oh my goodness. And if this is something you've had most of your life, you're probably so used to it that, you know, you probably don't even notice that you are a notorious need fulfiller and you do a really great job. And so it's basically the, just turning on the lights and going, okay, wow. So have I created this as my job, you know, to fulfill other people's needs? Is this something I've decided I need to do? And it's like the needs, fulfilling other people's needs gives you basically no choice but to dive into other people's worlds, see what they need, and then deliver it. And you're not really part of that computation. So it's like you can be aware of other people's needs, but the choice to deliver or not is yours. So when somebody has a need of you, if I deliver this, what future will that create? If I don't deliver this need, what future will that create? Like right now, like this reality, this world right now needs you to be upset. It needs you to worry. It needs you to be afraid. It needs you to be angry. So do probably a lot of people around you, you know, like so many people are afraid right now and they're like, come on, be afraid with me. Can we just be afraid together? Or other people on the other side go, oh my God, this sucks. Look at what's happening, you know, and they need you to be upset together with you. It's like kumbaya of upsetness or, you know, fear. And it's like, how many times are you joining the fear game, joining the upset game without even asking you, wait a second, what's my take on this? What do I know here? Do I need to be afraid? Body, do we need to be afraid of what's going on here? Will we get sick? Body, will you get sick? Yes or no? And those of you who know, like, what's light, what's true will always make you feel lighter. What's heavy is a lie. So if you ask your body, hey, will you get sick of this? Is this something that affects you? Yes or no? And check if is yes lighter or no lighter. And maybe your body goes, like, no. Or maybe it goes, yeah, we need like be aware of who you're around, or it will give you an awareness of what really is up for you and your body. It will give you an awareness of what's really going on for you and your world, your body. And rather than this need to join the fear game. And fear, oh my goodness, like fear is this thing that you're like, it enslaves people all over the world right now. People stop asking questions in the face of fear. People stop asking questions in the face of anger. And both anger and fear are they're like distractions. Like we call them distractor implants. They distract you from what's really going on. So fear and anger basically go, look over here, be afraid. Look over there, be upset. Spend all your time, all your day surfing on the internet, being angry, being upset, or being afraid. So you will not ask questions. So you will not ask you what you know. So you're distracting yourself from what's really going on. So what if you identify fear and anger, just those two, as what it is? You can ask yourself, is fear and anger real, or am I using them to distract me from what I know? Okay, so I'm gonna go.
No, you go.
Go ahead. So I'm gonna actually do something now that most of you know, some of you don't. So everything that is, everywhere you're using fear and anger to distract you from what you know, will you please destroy and uncreate it all? Just say yes if you want to let it go. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So this is really weird, but it works. And it's called the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. You can find more on www.theclearingstatement.com. It's a whole explanation of every word of this weird stuff. And the first time I heard it as a psychologist, I went, what is this? My brain said, this is crazy, but I could sense the difference it made. I could sense that it actually creates a change in my world, of the choice to let go of limitations. And then saying this weird stuff, it does something, it doesn't make sense, but it works, And we said we're going to be pragmatic here, so we're going to do what works, even if it's weird. So check out the words if you're interested. You don't need to know what it means. It works anyway. Yeah.
And I will tell you, the first time I heard the clearing statement, so what's all that What's all that?
Yeah.
Too weird to digest. And then, like you said, it worked, and then I couldn't stop using it. So I have a question about, like, in this conversation with need, and even it's funny, the need to be angry, the need to have fear, to give something to us to like fight as like a reason to even be alive. And so it's like almost like the needs that we have, that we buy are real of our needs. Like you addressed the needs of what other people are expecting of us. So can we dive in a little bit into like what needs we think we have that we're like functioning from that aren't necessarily true?
So, well, it's like you can ask yourself, you guys listening also, what have I decided I need that if it's not fulfilled, I cannot be me? So everything that is, will you destroy and create it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, meons. I mean, different people have all kinds of favorite needs, and need is always something that creates lack. It's where you always look at what do I not have, what's missing in my life, rather than what is already here that I can acknowledge and ask for more. Like it could be like just this little perspective change of, okay, am I looking at what I'm not having in my life, like money, clients, whatever else it is for you guys out there? Or am I looking at, okay, I had a client last week. Awesome. I had one client. How amazing is this? How does it get any better? Hey, universe, what's possible for more? Like this just little slight perspective change sets you up for more, rather than adding to the energy of less. And so what needs do you guys have that you think need to be fulfilled? to be able to be you. Everything that is will you destroy and create it, please.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. So it's like your needs don't equal you. But that's where people go, okay, in order to be able to be me, I need a boyfriend. To be able to be me, I need whatever. I need validation from my friends. I need to be seen. I need to, whatever the needs are. I mean, there's countless of needs people have invented, and it's definitely an invention. Yeah. So you can also run, what invention am I using to create the needs I'm choosing? And everything that is will you destroy and create it, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. What invention are you using to create the needs you're choosing? Everything that is times a godzillion will you please destroy and create it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
So with that, I have talked to so many women. So for those that don't know, I owned a hair salon in LA for 15 years. And I can't tell you how many times women have come in and have said like, well, I need my needs met. And this is like their list, like their checkbox of how they've taught to navigate this reality to make sure that the person they're going to date will fulfill their needs, therefore maintaining their needs as a way to validate the relationship. So what is pragmatic psychology, Susanna Mittermaier, say when someone comes in about that? It's like, I have my boundaries up and here's my needs list. Like, so how do you create beyond that reality?
Yeah, I love that question. It's brilliant. So it's like, so when you think you have a need, like, I love this list. And it's like, there's such a righteousness. I need to have my whole life I spent for my husband and my kids. And now it's time for me. And I need my needs fulfilled, and it's like, and then people go, but why aren't the things coming that I'm asking for? Well, because you have needs, and needs are like a black hole. They're just like sucking in, but never contributing, so everything that is right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. But it's like, again, like with going from dramatic to pragmatic would be like, you say you have a need. Okay, so what if we change the need to a desire? So if you talk about I need, okay, what are you creating? Well, you're creating lack. If you change your need to, rather than saying I need, you can go, okay, do I need or do I desire?
Can you tell our people the original form of need, or the original definition of need? Because I think that is something they need to hear. They need to hear.
They need to hear it. Well, the only definition that I know is lack, like the lack. There's something missing. Do you know something else, or?
No, keep going where you were.
Okay, cool.
Because you were saying that like you create more lack in your life when you have any need, and I just wanted them to have that. The original definition of need was to lack. So every time you say I need this, you lack of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's exactly what you create. So it's like, if you use the word need, you create lack, because need is basically lack. So when you say I need this, if you say I need money, you say I'm lacking money. If you say I need to change my body, you say I'm lacking to change my body, or whatever it is. So everything that is right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. But if you go, do I need to change my body? Am I lacking to change my body? Or would I like to change my body? And you just go, like, if you hear me say, I need to change my body, what is that creating in my world? If I say, wow, I would love to change my body, I would like to change my body, it has a totally different space where the things that are required to change my body can actually come into my world. I can hear them. I can receive the information of what's required to change my body, and that's such a, it's such a twist. And I actually, this thing with my body, I had like recently, just a couple of weeks ago, like I had this thing in my world. I'm like, I so want to change my body, which is another way of saying lack. And I had this energy to it, and nothing changed. My body's like, not like this, not when you judge me, and then I'm like, okay, you know what, like we said in the beginning, I'm just going to let it go. It is what it is. Thank you, body, for you. Gratitude. Thank you for everything you are. What is actually possible? What space can I be to invite something different? And that was the first time when I actually could hear my body telling me what it desires to change it. And I did, and it changed. It's like that easy, but it's like those things where we have the most need attached to it, the most significance. I need to I need money. I need a boyfriend. I need like the significance. The universe goes, you're actually not open to receive. You're actually doing the opposite. But then with the willingness of, you know what, I'm just going to let it go. It is what it is. Thank you for everything that is in my life right now. What am I actually asking for? Like the desire, what am I asking for? Not what do I need, but what do I desire? And then listen to the whispers, listen to what it is that is required to change it. Listen to the information coming to you. And it takes a bit of patience. And it's not the easiest for us creators out there. We're like, I want it yesterday. But it might take a little bit of patience to go, okay, what is required? Relax, do something different. And the information of what's required, it will come. Probably not in the way you have expected it to come, but it will come, you know? And it's an adventure.
So thank you for that, my friend. I love hearing you talk about these things. So in the chat, we have a question. Can you talk about the difference between need and desire?
Yay. So need is, if you just like listen to the word need, I need. Okay. So is this opening up or is it contracting? You know, I need money. I need a boyfriend. I need. Okay. So if I change this to a desire, it would more be like, oh, wow, it would be so cool to have more money. It would be so cool to have a boyfriend. It would be so cool to whatever it is, you know, ... That is where you go, wow, it would be so cool. Hey, universe, can you let me know what's required? And then the information can come to you. So it's just like, it's not so much about the how, it's more this little perspective, change of perspective, and the opening up of, it's not that I need it. It's not that I lack it. I'm asking for it. And I also at the same time know if I ask, so be it. I'll have it. I'll receive it. You know?
Well, even with that little exercise you did there, showing the two energies, what I saw was the need invalidated what already was. Mm-hmm. So you're coming from a place of like whatever's here right now. It like lacked gratitude. It lacked acknowledgement. It was like, I need this, like almost like to be whole. Like if this comes up, then I'll be a person. But when you're like, oh, what else can I add to my life? It has a lightness and a spaciousness to it that wasn't there when you're doing need, you know?
Yes. Yep.
So, will you talk to us a little bit about what's your ask for? Because this is like our introductory Pragmatic Psychology live. So what is your ask for Pragmatic Psychology? Like, what would you like it to contribute to the world and people to know?
Wow. Oh my goodness. So, okay. So this is what's occurring when someone asks me such a question. Like, this is so brilliant, Sarah. It's like the first thing that comes up is an energy. And now I'm like, okay, so what are the words to it? So basically it's like this, inviting people to know that anything is changeable and that anything that seems impossible to change actually is just a disguise. Like every impossibility is a possibility in disguise. That's what I would call pragmatic. Like you can twist everything, fear, doubt, anger, any problem. And if you look at it, if you ask questions, everything is changeable. And all of those are just disguising possibilities. And if we like, and maybe this is like hoping and dreaming, but hey, but if we would create a world where people would no longer value problems, but embrace possibilities and embrace what they uniquely know, they would be so powerful, we would be so powerful that the world would be ours and the future would be ours. The world that is right now, so many people choose to just follow and believe in other people's points of view. And that's okay. It's not a wrongness. It's just what is. We can also be grateful for that. But if some of us empower ourselves to know what we know, no longer buy lies, but know what we know, the world would be a different place. And that's what I call pragmatic. And that's what I'm inviting to choose. Yeah.
So I have one more question. It's kind of like a caveat to that question, like a little turn on that, because I have some friends, some that are on here right now, that are therapists, that are out like creating with the access tools, looking at how to approach being it within the therapy industry. What would you say to those people specifically? Like, I know pragmatic psychology goes way beyond therapists or anything like that. I don't want to pigeonhole that. I'm putting that disclaimer right here. But to those that are out there doing therapy from this reality standards, knowing there's something else possible, found the tools, would like to put it over here, because so many of us also, and so I'll take the disclaimer off with it being about therapists, because I know even as a hairstylist, like I was kind of a therapist. I was listening to people all day talk about their stuff, right? And so then I would go and for the longest time would like separate my magical life with access consciousness and then go over and be the hairstylist I was supposed to be in this reality. And then trying to figure out how to bridge those and play within both. So can you talk a little bit about that for us, those that are asking those questions, on how you took psychology, made it pragmatic, and what you would like us to know is possible? I don't know if I tied that up with a bow, but I tried.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. Love it. And this is a very huge question. It's a very big thing, and there's a lot to say about this. Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna. So there's like this is truly an art of okay. So I'm gonna keep it short. So it's like one of the many elements of this is what many people do who work with people, whether you are, being a hairdresser or a social worker, parent, a therapist, they usually compare themselves with how you do it, how one does it, like whatever you've been taught from your education or a coaching program or from your parents or from other people, or how one is dealing with people. So there's like, okay, how does one do it? But that's not really a question. That's more like trying to look for the right way to do something rather than the courage of how would I do it? What do I know? And one of the elements of truly like being a contribution to people is accessing your unique way of being you, like you being you. That's actually that's the platform for you reaching the clients the way only you can. Okay, because if you try to reach the person from a perfect way or a right way, you always have to do it through the filters of the things you've been taught, your modality, your education. But if you don't have your education between you and your client, you can actually reach them in a more direct way, and there's a connection with them that you can get, where you can easier get the download of what they're actually saying beyond words, which is facilitating change way easier. Okay, so this is like the short form of it. And if you basically sorry, just multitasking. I'm not so good. But so basically, this whole thing there's a subform of pragmatic psychology that's called pragmatic practitioners. And it's like, there's a whole class to it. There's like a 3-4 day class that people can take. There's little prereqs for it where they can learn more about this, because there's so much to say about this. Okay, how can I be me and facilitate change? How can I use these tools to facilitate change? So this is called Pragmatic Practitioner. And there's more information somewhere. But like one of the elements is really like, what if the source of change is not my education or what I've learned or how one does it? What if I have the willingness to let that go just for a moment, just to explore? You know, you can still take it and use it. It's not that it's bad. It's just like oftentimes it stands in the way, and it's like this barrier between one and the patients. So take that away for a moment and explore, how would I navigate this session with this client? How would I navigate this conversation if I was being me and had no script, no plan? What would I be aware of? How would I navigate the session? What would I be aware of what the client, what's actually going on for them beyond words? And it will surprise you the ways you go about it in a totally different way. So that's just a little, short summary of that. Yeah.
I love that. And the word that I would highlight that you used that was kind of tossed away, but you said courage. The courage that it takes to be you within these industries that are already so structured and aligned and have linear steps and all of that. Like the courage to break that algorithm and be you in any of these industries is dynamic. And I want to dive into that more with you tomorrow. So everybody who's watching, what I would love to do within our group here is I'll put up a post right after this in this group for questions you would like me to ask Susanna in the next 3 days. And I'll look through those and see which ones we can get into these lives, because I am rather psychic with receiving your guys' thoughts while I'm here with her. But if there were specific questions that you would like to ask Susanna, I would like to ask those for you. And so we'll see you here tomorrow at the same time in the next 3 days. And Susanna, thank you so much for what this creates and what you be in the world. I adore you so, so much. And I'm so really honored to be here with you.
Oh, thank you so mega likewise. Thank you so much for being the space for what else is possible.
You're welcome.
See you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.